and then we'll get. What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another Live to Roll Live. We're back this week with a pretty cool topic I'm actually super interested in, and we got our guest TJ here in black and white for dramatic effect today. uh, but yeah, we'll do a couple quick intros. Let TJ do a little longer intro because he is our guest and the first time on the show. But I am Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quad from a snowboarding accident 18 years ago now. So, Bobby, you want to send it off?
Oh, you almost said Tom, did you? You're
I,
so used to
it's
missing
like in
Tom
my,
today.
I'm like, I go through that. He's always like my, because we usually go Tom, like we just have like this little thing. But yeah, Tom's missing today. He has a doctor's
Gotcha.
appointment. So, Bobby, you're
Yeah,
the man, brother. Take
no
it off.
problem. I'll fill in for Tom. I'll be both of us today. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Glad you can join us. Make sure you hit that like button. Glad you're here. My name's Bobby Rohan, and I'm a C56 quadriplegic of 33 years. And enough about me. You guys know about me, but let's move it over to our special guest, TJ, on for the first time talking about Microsoft. Give us a little introduction
Cool.
about yourself, and then we'll dive into our topic.
Cool. Oh, first of all, thanks for having me. I've been following you guys, watching you guys for a while. I mean, I know you guys from the community, so it's kind of cool to see finally be on. My name is Taejun Lee, or TJ. It's just easier. C4, C5 incomplete, car accident, 2003. I'm not good with math right now, but I know it's about to be, I think, 8, 19, 18, 19, something like that. It's about to be more than longer than I've been able. Yeah.
It's your
Nice.
50-50, the 50-50 year.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, you know, like it's now it's like that's like a far memory and
Yeah.
it's like kind of like, oh, this is it. I mean, which is always going forward, but that's about I am incomplete, so I'm fortunately able to be able to walk. I have my right side is semi-paralyzed, have spasms, pains, all the good stuff that comes with the SCI, you know. I still have all the bladder, bowel stuff issues that we all have, the pain, all yeah. So I'm a walker, but I'm still with you guys.
Yeah, no, that's what
No,
a lot of
no.
people don't realize, man. But yeah, dude. Um,
Once you have a SCI, you're always with us, no matter how much you get back, but you're still part of the family because nobody really recovers fully from this. You know, walking, there's still that bowel and bladder stuff that people that I see walking normal, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Hey, recovery great," and they're like, "Yeah, except my bowel and bladder suck," you know. So they're always having problems with that. It seems like that's the last to come, which
yeah,
sucks.
always.
But glad you're incomplete and doing a lot, on your own, and
Yeah,
not
Thanks. I
stuck
mean,
in there all day.
yeah, I mean, especially with that bladder stuff, it's like we don't talk about much, but yeah, on the good days, you kind of think that things are going great, and then your body's like, nope, you're still disabled.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you just eat that one little wrong thing, and you're like, ah, come on. Can I just enjoy
Yeah.
that one little thing? Nope, nope. There goes this system. It's all messed up.
Yeah, that's, we've had Luis on here. Luis from Triumph, and he's also a SCI walker. And yeah, we've talked about those same things. Like, man, like people don't realize that you guys like you don't see those all those extras and stuff that we deal with. And but yeah, TJ, that's why I've known you because like we've both been hurt about the same time. I've been 18 years too. That's why I feel like I've
Okay.
just like seen you around ever since the start of my like I don't know maybe I feel like I've seen you around a long time like or just like
Yeah. uh, th- there was a lot. I
Been
mean,
a
a lot
while.
of stuff we did see through Triumph and a lot of Rancho things, just because that was like the only thing back when we first got hurt. You know, not much going on. But I guess I'm still part of my intros. Professionally, I'm an occupational therapy professional,
yeah, that's
OT
cool.
assistant. I do consulting, and then I have a assistive technology certificate by the Cal State Northridge program. They have a really good assistive technology conference with all the big players every year, which the expo area is free, so it's kind of cool to check out. So
That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
on the side of that, entrepreneur, trying to do some stuff, adaptive athlete sometimes, you know, but
Awesome.
just enjoying life, enjoying life.
There you
That's
go.
great, man.
That's what it's all about, TJ, man. glad we were able to make it. And before we dive into our topic, let's shout out our sponsors real quick.
Thanks, Bobby.
Mobility professionals and urological professionals. They are our big sponsor. Without them, we couldn't do this channel and travel and be at the show. So big shout out to mobility professionals. They're here local for your needs. If you're here in Southern California or coming to visit, maybe you can check in with them. Maybe they can give you a hand. But if not, and you're out of state and you want to check out urology professionals, they can help you out of state. Give them a call. They're willing to help. They hire within the SCI population, so they know what they're talking about. So give them a call if you're in need of your urological supplies.
Yeah, and they're nationwide, so anywhere in the country, if you need catheters, give them a call. They'll help you with insurance. Like Bobby said, they got a quad that works there, one of our good friends, and they're big parts of the community out here in Southern California, part of Triumph, and yeah, just good people all around. So we thank them.
All right, TJ,
All
let's
right,
hear
so yeah,
about
let's
what
get
you
into the
do with
topic here.
Microsoft. Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, we're talking about adaptive. You like you said, you got a certificate. You're certified. You're an OT assistant specialist. You got all kinds of cool certifications and stuff. So what? How'd you get involved with Microsoft and doing this adaptive stuff in the first place? Just be like,
Um, I,
did they approach you? Did you reach out to them?
so I think the me being involved in the tech field kind of goes back even before my injury. I was just always into tech, computers, digital camera, all that. I had it since like the beginning. And it was very eventually like during that time, like there was a thing called like tech TV on cable, which I was like, oh, this is cool, learning it, always breaking things and this and that. So eventually went from like just observing it, being a fan of it, it's like, oh, I want to go to these conferences like CES, which is the big consumers like Electronic Expo, E3, which is the big gaming one. And as just getting into my profession in OT and just being a tech lover, I was able to attend it just magically. I'll give you guys links too. They do have signups. There's like a small window where you guys go for free, especially for CES. Just been going to conventions, events, and just being there and just collaborating with people. I think that was like the biggest part where I saw how big of an impact when I had my injury in the hospital. Sorry, I'm just like going way back leading up to it,
No, that's
and
good.
just being actively involved and kind of giving him the right feedback of like, hey, like just out of just my own curiosity, it's like, hey, what are you guys doing for this X, Y, and Z when I'm at the booths, and not trying to be giving them positive criticisms or positive feedback of what they could change. And eventually they're like, oh, eventually I got my OT license, I got my AT certificate, which kind of, they'll listen a little more rather than you're the disabled guy that comes to the booth kind of a thing. And eventually just got connected with good people, like the CES Foundation. I've seen them go from just purely consumer to more lifestyles, and now like the older aging population, which is great for the disability scene because if that's pushing it, if you know, everyone's gonna have a disability, right? It's usually later on in life. So as that was pushing, I got more connected with people and attending more. Just kind of it kept growing. Like I was advocating for the disability community at the same time the OT profession. Like we need to be here when I first started getting my rehab, I was talking about all the technology things and they're like, oh no, we're gonna still do like, nothing bad about it. It's like, the old school stuff, but I was like, hey, like this is I could already see like this my phone, my laptop, it's gonna be a vital thing that we all need. So I just took it upon myself to kind of get myself into the scene, just talking around, just being part of it. Eventually I was able to get connected with the Microsoft team. I mean, when they came out with the Xbox Adaptive Controller last year, that was like such a big deal, and I was like, oh, who was part of that? And then looking through my contacts, I was telling them like I found out there was an OT, there's a female OT and a male OT that are part of the project. And I was like, that's great. I'm glad someone from the OT side is
Was that
pushing this. And
Kathleen Sheffield?
not Kathleen, he goes by OT Unleashed. He was one of them. And then I forgot the other OT that's on like they're close with. And eventually just talking enough here and there, I was able to get connected with the Microsoft team, and they're like, "Hey, we got this thing. We can't really tell you about it, but t I know it's gonna help things out." I was like, "Cool. This is the same people that brought the Xbox adaptive controller." I was like, "Well, that's great." I had some critiques and things about it, and I told them like, "Hey, like, if there's anything going on, let me know. I'd love to be part of the team and not part of the team, but part of the testing to kind of get you, get you, get some feedback and try to get connection to the community." Yes,
Yeah.
there it is, Gabby. Hey, Gabby.
Oh,
So,
oh, there you go.
mhm. So that's kind of how it all happened, and uh, yeah, been actually it's not Microsoft's not the only one I've worked with. I've done some testing through with other companies in the tech field, PlayStation. Uh, yeah, so kind of just putting my foot in there, trying to see did some stuff with Google, just like signing up. A lot of these conferences, there's a lot of things you could sign up for. So just sign up and just kind of whenever there's opportunity. The requirements are very like we're looking for X, Y, and Z. Sometimes it fits. There's a lot of things out. There's a lot of research studies and things like that, and it just
Do you
so
need to have
happened to
like
fit it.
certifications for a lot of it, or like you do, or can it
Um,
just be, Joe Schmo disabled tech nerd?
I think it kind of depends on the company and what they're looking for or striving for. If there's Once you put the information, it's either they'll reach out to you if there's something that pops up, or
Mhm.
you can let them know. You know, I'm always big on just giving the right like the reviews and comments without bashing whatever's going on. Say, hey, make this if you could make this like XYZ, it could be a little bit more helpful. Kind of, yeah, just being part of the process. I think that's like the biggest part.
That's great. Is
Yeah.
this more for like in the sense of gaming or just technology for computer use in general?
Yeah, in
what are
general,
you mainly
technology in
focused?
general.
Just
The
general.
gaming has always been a big part. That's like how I get to decompress. But it's been hard at times just because the newer games, you guys probably know it takes just more controllers, more controls, more buttons, which
I've
it's complicated
Which
now.
is like,
It's very realistic, but
yeah.
realistic for us is already complicated, so the controls are just as complicated.
Yeah. No,
No,
games are
I
super
miss the
complicated,
old
man.
Super
Like,
Nintendo days with AMD, and that was it. Like that was simple A B, and now you got ABCDX, square underneath. There's just
Joysticks,
too.
thumbpad,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's it, for
it's
me.
just so
Once it got,
confusing.
I've tried to do a couple, like, just attempted to game a few things. Played with the Wii back, but like when that was like pretty popular. But yeah, I don't know. I've always had trouble, especially because I have no finger function. So like, I mean, I have that like wrist extension. So like, yeah, controlling the controllers has always been difficult.
We're in the
But
same club, I
oh
think.
yeah, I know you got one hand
There
that's
you
the same. You got a
I got
C5
one hand. I
hand.
got one hand.
Yeah, you got
So
one
got a
good.
little
go.
bit.
You got one
Got a little
Yeah.
C5
there.
hand.
Oh, I you do this, TJ. You're like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, this is
No, but yeah, dude. No, that's So I know you know what it's like to try to control stuff with that, like fine motor control or anything like that. With with the quad hand is tough. Uh, but no, that's
Yeah,
cool. They have a bunch of different. Like, I can actually show just a little shot of the website you sent me, if you want, real quick, just with some
yeah,
to give people.
that's my hand right there.
Is that your hand?
awesome.
Nice, dude. That's.
So these are like kind of mouse
Mhm.
adaptations or control remotes.
So the adaptive accessories is the hub, button, and then the mouse. So you see the blue and the colored parts. They're actually 3D printed parts.
Okay.
So it's kind of adjustable. Like they'll have. It's kind of like the makers involving them and the community to kind of make. You can make your own parts that fit you because there's no one way. There's no one thing that's gonna fit all. you know.
Right.
So that was like a kind of cool like modular system that they had going. So yeah, right there. So if you see the colors, those are all 3D printed parts. So it's a mouse
Oh,
with the tail. I did not bring it with me because I was like hurrying on the way out. And then the buns and then the hub. So I can kind of show you like the live thing here
Yeah.
is
Let me switch back.
mhm,
Goes.
here is the hub,
Okay.
Bluetooth, and it lasts
okay.
a long time. I could say I had it for like weeks and it's still connected. It could connect up to three or was it four? Three or four. I haven't connected to that many things, but there's the lights is really super easy. I'm using the palm of my hands, click it, power button here on the side. You could still click the old school the 3 millimeter jacks for the big buttons,
Okay.
and then you could add in the controls, and then on top of that it has a profile. So like say you go from so right now I have it on the 0 setting, which is my work setting. I pressed one, and so I have one for gaming, and then I press again. Oh, oh, when it's connected. Hold on a second. Oh, oh yeah, so yeah, you could connect up to four buttons. I was getting to that, but yeah. So like the next button is like media, and then here is the the, the fun piece. So
That's cool. That
right
looks
now,
easy.
I have the 3D topper that they provided me. Just the team is great. They know the community really well, and they already had like toppers and things that because they already help people out. So I was like, hey, I think that's gonna help me out. Like, you twist the top, and then you
All
can just
right.
kind of
So
plug
it
in,
just
and it's
so you can like lay in any topper. Is that
You can
correct?
get different top. Yeah,
hmm
that's cool.
so for me, it's like hitting with the palm. So my controls for the work setting is a copy paste, going
Oh,
in
that,
between my tabs, and then going in, and this one was going to my next tab of my Chrome.
oh, that's cool. That is
hmm
cool.
And then
Uh,
on the bottom is they had little rubber feet, and it's like nice. There's like a nice big space in the back, so you could throw on Velcro. There's actually little holes in the bottom too, so you could do zip ties because we like to zip tie and Velcro a lot of stuff, especially OTs. And it's really durable. I said sorry to say, Gabby, I dropped it a couple of times just because my hands, and it survived. It's
Well,
surviving
that's
all
good.
my destruction, I guess.
That's good to know because I think a lot of us are going to have that little issue of dropping it multiple times.
yeah, especially like quad limited hand function. You're probably gonna drop it, but no, that's really cool, man. That like, I didn't know. Yeah, that's cool. You can program. You got like the copy paste and all that. Just really easy, quick button control. That's actually really cool. I feel like
Yeah, on the
that's awesome.
yeah, and that's just like the beginning. There's a lot more that's gonna keep getting unlocked, but actually, Gabby in the comments, she's one of the head people that's in charge of this product, this campaign. Which,
Uh-huh.
yeah, uh, so I'm looking at the comments too.
And yeah,
I
she
was like,
said that
oh,
they totally tested through drop tests, so that's good to know. And earlier, Mason had asked if it connects to the Xbox controller, and she replied that yes, it does
mhm.
hook up.
It
And
does not connect to the
yeah,
Xbox.
oh, does not. Sorry, does not connect to the Xbox. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I was reading that. Does not connect. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's different. That's more of these are the computer controls, right? Than just for mouse. Different.
Actually, not even computer. I've connected it to my tablet and
Okay.
my phone because there's some commands that are kind of universal, copy and paste. And then if you're
Right.
like using Chrome on my Android, I'm able to go switch to tabs. So it's just kind of you could use so you have a Windows 11 product or Windows 11 operating system where you could command everything and all the commands get stored in the hub. And then after that, you could try it out on all the different products. I have PC, I have Apple, I have Android, and I've been playing with it all, and it's yeah, and it's pretty seamless too. Just no
Really?
You answered,
hiccups. The only
yeah,
hiccup.
you answered my question. I wanted to know. For Shawn and I, we're Mac guys, so we were like, "Is it going to work for the Mac?" So that's
Yeah,
great
because
to
both of us
great
have.
to
Yeah,
know.
we're both on. I have an Android phone though, but so that would work with my Chrome, and I use Chrome. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I don't know.
See, Mason asked, "Is this for Microsoft?"
I
It
don't
is for
understand.
Windows. The software is gonna run on. I don't, but yeah, I mean it's for PC. But if you're able to have access to Windows 11, you can connect it, and yeah, I think that's as much as I could say for right now. It'll be
Okay, yeah,
future.
But it's Bluetooth, so once you hook it up to, like, let's say your Mac, it will be your mouse controller for your Mac. Is that correct?
or no?
Or do you
The
have to download a program?
the
Oh,
mouse will connect. The button the button connects to the hub. So the mouse it connects as its own mouse, and then these two, and then you could have multiple buttons. You could connect up to four buttons, either hardline or just Bluetooth, and then you could go crazy with all the different commands on there. Oh, so come in a little set.
okay. Yeah, and so
And
and that's
about how much are they? Is that out on the market now, or how
I
much
saw on the
if it
website it
is?
comes out in fall this year, I think.
Yeah, in
So
the fall. They announced it earlier this year, and then coming out in the fall.
yeah, so got a few more months I think till stuff's out.
Hmm.
But if you look at the website, I put the link in the description for the what I just pulled up. You can click on there, and there's I think a link you can click on to be emailed for notifications and stuff for updates when they're coming out and stuff, and how to order for anybody that wants to check that out. Um, Gabby says you have to configure the adaptive hub on Windows 10 or 11, but then you can go anywhere you want from there. Okay, so
So set it up through like a Surface, and then you can take it somewhere else.
Yeah,
ah,
see, Mason.
got
So
it.
let's see. On your question, Mason, if you have someone that has access to a Windows operating system, go there, just program everything that you want to, or you gotta also probably have to see what commands carry over. But that gets kind of yeah, that gets more a little bit more technical. So that one
Right.
you have to figure out once we get there.
Yeah.
I'd take mine to work, or a Windows store, and then like get it all set up and then bring it home.
Hey, or you could just meet up with me and I'll just set it up and
There
I'll
you
be
go.
like, hey,
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
even thinking. You're like local, right down the street. So
yeah. We're all
Yeah,
pretty
that's
local.
cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the tech is cool. I think it's really cool actually. Like I didn't realize that you could do all those little options and so many buttons and stuff that you can program into there. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not as versed on the tech stuff, man. I'm not a tech. That's why it sucks we don't have Tom on here because he's like our tech nerd for the three of us.
yeah.
He's like the
You're
one that is.
Uh,
He's totally our tech nerd. He's like the one that's super in. Yeah, he would be loving this right now. So sorry we're missing Tom.
uh,
so before this came out, or what other adaptive equipment have you used before, or before
cease.
this product? I mean, I mean, for me, it's nothing's too big. I mean, I have a Kensington Big Mouse, big ball controller that seems to work for most of us quads, that are easy to move the cursor around and click the buttons. But have you used anything else in the past that you find useful that you can give besides Microsoft products?
So I started off with the rollerball too. I think that was like the first thing everybody recommends. I didn't like the precision of it just because my hands were just not as precise. So
Yeah, that's
I've
hard.
used a big keyboard, touch screen. I think I tried every different type of mouse and keyboard. Like it's just like like years and years of just trial and error, and then you figure out like this nice. Okay, so right now I have a mini keyboard because right now I'm using. I just said forgo this end. I was like, sorry, dude, you're not fast enough right now. Just using everything on my good hand. I have a smaller keyboard, uh, without the up and down buttons, so it's just able to move across the whole keyboard faster. I have a, a mouse, a Razer Naga. with it's like 12 buttons on the side. So I before this the button the Microsoft accessory, I just had everything programmed into my all the buttons on my mouse and my thumb, which was sometimes a lot because there's like 12 things going on. And it's just, was it this one? Was it that one? Was it this? Was that? So even with
Man,
having a lot of the options, I had to go with like the 4 or 5 that I really use because it's like you got to think about what you're doing on top of doing what we're supposed to be doing on the computer,
right,
you
doing
know?
your actual work. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it can get confusing after having
On
too
the
many.
on the gaming end, I've used the program called REWASD, which when you plug into the PC, you could kind of connect any controller onto it and then rebind everything and then make combo buttons, which is great. I know there's other programs like the remapping one. Um, I've I've used a couple of times. I know it's hard to play with like the FPS, the shooter games, but when all your friends on it, you gotta figure out a way. There is like it's technically cheating, I guess, for able-bodied people, but then for us, it just helps us out to just enjoy the game a little more. So I've gotten kicked out of things just using like an aimbot to kind of steady things out. So
Really?
they do have programs like that where it helps with the aiming and just we're not always trying to win. We're just trying to have an enjoyable time, right? And it's just stressing out.
Right.
Winning is kind of part of it.
Yeah, no,
So
that sucks that they kicked you out of the one because, yeah,
it's adapted, but it's too good when people use it for, just winning.
right. Nice. And that's a yeah. We actually just answered because we had JJ ask if it'd be available in the UK, and we will be providing more details later. She said so on availability. So I think yeah,
Yeah.
you probably have to wait till it's available just at all in fall. So see what happens.
Yeah. Just sign up for an
Definitely.
email and then things are gonna keep coming out. Just gotta be staying tuned. So on that end,
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely a little shout out to Gabby there to help us out with the chat for some of
Yeah,
those
thank you.
questions. So
Oh yeah,
thank
she's
you
the
for joining.
boss.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks,
glad
Gabby.
you got her on there. That's awesome. So
Uh,
have you worked
Yeah,
with
so
any other companies in the past?
you
I've
said
I've
you
done for Google and then did some stuff for PlayStation. Just, on the
So, real
accessibility
quick question,
wise.
because somebody actually, one of our guys, Quad Life, mentioned, PlayStation doesn't have the quad like any adaptive controllers. So, what happened when you worked with them? They were like, "No, we don't like your ideas."
Um, they are aware.
uh,
I think the biggest part was it's hard because I can't you can't really tell them what to do, but it's kind of like, oh, are you able to access these buttons? And I'll just kind of tell them no, you know. So like there is for the PS3 controllers, there are people that are like the the controls of PlayStation. I know there's like able gamers, there's like the mad controllers, there's like different country people out there. It's kind of gotta go there. The biggest one I've been looking for at a resource was on Reddit. It was like Reddit slash disabled gamers or like this accessible gaming, and they had a lot of homebrew projects because and taking apart the PlayStation to do it, it'll mess up a lot of things. But there are like you guys said, I'm not that tech savvy to break it apart and kind of do it, but there are projects out there and people out there. Yeah, Able Gamers is like one of the big ones.
okay.
And there's a couple other gaming controller companies that are making modular designs. I've I've talked with one. They're based out in UK, and it's like little cubes, and you can kind of put it together. I forgot the name off the top of my head, but oh, BioWare, BYO Wave, WAVE. That was one.
Okay.
That was pretty interesting. So
That's
trying to
cool.
make it for PlayStation, Microsoft, Switch, and all that stuff. And I kind of save some. I save things whenever there's like things that pop up on my feeds. But there's a person that I got connected with. He made his own adaptive Switch controllers, and I was like, oh, 3D printing has
Yeah,
helped a lot just from
with 3D
grips
printing
and
right
kind of
now,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, that's off. Yeah. So you said earlier before we got on the air, you're working with Mark from Ability, so that's where you get hooked up, and seems like he knows what he's doing on that
Make some
3D
custom
printer.
stuff.
Yeah, Mark is yes, his ideas of things is really it's great. I saw his iPhone iPhone cord pulling. That
Yeah,
thing was great, and just
Yeah.
doing just doing it. You know, having access. It's nice that you have access to a 3D printer, which is much cheaper now. So
yeah.
kind of just playing around with designs and see what works the best.
And Mark's actually a really like smart engineer designer too. Like he's some of those designs are really, really creative and cool. So that's what with people like that. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a bunch of people around the world that have made some pretty cool adaptive controller designs, mouse design, all this stuff custom. But it's great that Microsoft is finally like as a company doing it, on a large scale. So
Yeah, I mean, they're on the accessibility wise, they've been doing great for a while. I
yeah, with the
really like
Xbox.
Cortana. Cortana, I know, like their speech and then their on-screen keyboard. Like the Surface is like Surface itself is a really great product. I like you just get compared to like having a Mac, which you're kind of stuck in what they tell you what they gotta do. I like there's a lot of more accessibility features that I like. I mean, but everyone's kind of stepping it up. Even I know you guys probably seen it. Dealing with generations of updates of OSs, like slowly things are slowly coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, from where we started 20 years ago to now, I mean, it's huge. So
yeah, man.
most
But
definitely.
But yeah, I've been stuck on the Mac for a little while now. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll switch back. But what's funny is I don't
Hey,
do the Mac phone. I don't do Apple phones though. So like I gotta pick
okay.
one or the other. I don't know, and go full one side or the other.
This might change you. I don't know when this comes out. When I
Honestly,
see you
yeah,
on
I'm
Sunday.
actually even just what you've been saying. Like I'm kind of curious to check out a Surface just to like have as a side. Like just I don't know. I might have to look into it and check them out. See.
Yeah, because the Surface, especially the touchscreen part, it's really great when you don't like can't take everything with you, your whole setup with the mouse. And if you could touch it, I mean, mouth stylus, regular stylus, it's just more efficient to take around.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
you want to bring around your setup with you.
yeah.
And
No,
I know I'm dealing with always probably like a last year's uh, generation model of Surface, but I've been dealing with them for 5 years at work, and man, the only thing I don't like about the Surface, it just to me it's always so slow. Like everything we do on it, it just
you guys probably have
and
like a slow
especially at
boot
work. And
system.
I know we have encrypted stuff when working at Rancho, and it just like everything is so slow. So I used to always bring in my iPad. So everybody have their Surface out, and I'd have my iPad out, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Trust me, it's way quicker." And they're like, "I'm hold on, I'm waiting," and I'm like, "I'm already on. So tell me when you guys get there."
Hey, bringing your own iPad at just saying and just all the Rancho stuff. There's a you bring your own equipment. There's a barrier you don't have to go through all the time because all the
Yeah,
technical stuff going on. So you can't really say it's the Surface's fault, but you know,
no, I get that. It's a lot of it is all that encrypted stuff they have to put on there
yeah,
to make it for HIPAA compliant.
Uh, but
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. Let's see, I'm trying to
Um,
think. Um,
so yeah, what was there anything else that you're working on or you want to talk about from either from Microsoft or other stuff that you have maybe in the works that you can talk about or anything?
let's see, just outside of the Microsoft things, I don't know, just been keeping my eye out for new tech, new stuff. I've been seeing that playing with the PlayStation. I do like that you could remap buttons on a
Whoops,
system-wide level. Oh, oh,
I don't know what happened there.
oh.
That's
Yeah.
Sean's
weird.
all
So,
over.
All right,
um, yeah,
trying to figure.
and
I got all kinds of technical issues here. So I guess I was all talking about the Mac being great, and then now we're like, yo, Mac sucks. Just kidding. That was a total glitch on the when I clicked. Yeah, my scene just didn't switch. Damn it!
Oh
Why
yeah,
is it
now
not
you're gonna blame
switching? It's
everything.
not.
Now you're gonna blame it
It's
on Mac, huh?
Yeah, the scene is frozen, stuck like that. I don't know why TJ's. All right.
the macro stuff. Yeah, I mean, you could program all
Or
your
that might
macros
be
on
just
there.
that might be my software I'm running for the
Gotcha.
broadcasting software.
Are you
Uh,
using like OBS or?
it's called Ecamm. It's its own
Oh yeah, okay.
OBS. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know the. Well, I was using Streamlabs before, the OBS, and then kind of doing that stuff for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the macros have been really nice. I've been following this YouTube channel guys like Random Frank P, like accessories under $100, accessories under $50, and a lot of the things coming out were just cool. Where you could have your streaming setup and just buttons you press and program, which is very similar to the Microsoft Adaptive stuff. And it's like, oh, cool. It's just they're only seeing it from like a shortcut version, but to just able-bodied, they're like, oh, it's a shortcut. But for us, we're like, we could do so much with those shortcuts. I've been seeing that, which is kind of nice. It's just a separate accessories, but it's kind of like run through another program. But this is nice that it's like everything Microsoft's all within the system. Because after a while, like if you buy like a third party accessory, they don't update it, and it kind of crapped out. It's like, oh, what's next? Does it work for the Nexus thing? Trying to think what else. I bought this thing called a flipper, and then we're going to kind of go like sidetrack, and it's a little,
Yeah, what
I
is?
would say, diagnostic tool, but kind of diagnostic hacking tool. Been able to emulate some keys and garage openers so
Okay.
everything's all in one. When like just in our daily living, we got grab for a garage opener, gate opener, keys and stuff. This was like a nice way to like. I'm playing with it a lot more. I'm not sure what new things it could unlock, but just being able to have everything all in one will be great on the assistive tech side.
Does that do like
And just so
car
it,
alarm type stuff, like, or just like radio frequency, or is it?
yeah, rating frequency, RFID,
Okay.
NFC, infrared. I used their unofficial software, and I could open the Tesla plugs, which was kind of cool. So there's like, it's all like makers and just people within the community, like, oh, what can we do with the little tool, which is always nice. I wanted like, being able to carry one device to be able to open and access a lot of things. It it is legal because everything is locked and there's homebrew. So if you do something and it breaks, it's your fault. And everything comes with the warning and precaution. But yeah, it's up to you what you do with
Yeah,
it.
that's. There's all
Like how
kinds of
how how
tools.
tech yeah how techy can you get to kind of
Oh
break
well,
things?
actually, we got Tom calling in after his doctor's appointment, so I
Oh,
think he
nice.
might want to nerd out with you for just a few at the end here. Let me hold
Gotcha.
on.
What's
Hopping
up?
in.
I gotta switch
Ah,
names,
about
but
time you made
oh, we're
it.
good.
What's up,
Come
Tom?
on.
So
Sorry
guys,
Yeah,
about my camera. It's a special effects.
I like it, dude. I like the black and white man. Um, can you guys hear me? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry, I'm hopping on late, you guys. I had it's a teleconference appointment with the doctor. But thanks for letting me hop on towards the end. What's up, everybody?
what's up, man? Yeah, dude, that's what I was telling TJ, man. You were our local or our resident like nerd tech here, so or tech nerd.
Nah, I'm excited. I'm excited to catch these last 20 minutes. I hope you guys are down to give a little recap real quick.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I don't know if
But
you have
just
any
jump back
questions you want
in.
to ask TJ. Ask him because we've heard a lot of cool stuff.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm just coming in a little late. Anybody that knows the show, first off, what's up, everybody? I'm Tom Conaway. What's up, Ken? Anybody that doesn't know me, I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic, and I've been paralyzed for 25 years. And yeah, adaptive technology is a huge, huge part of my life. It's a passion of my life, something that I utilize, something that I'm always looking for. I'm always trying to, work up cool stuff myself, but, definitely utilize technology that we have now because it's something that enables us. It's something that, allows our independence. It's something that, you know, makes us more equal and on a more level playing field with everybody else. And I mean, we have the means today. I'm a software guy. Like that's like what I studied in school. It's kind of a big passion of mine in terms of like utilizing software, which can essentially, outside the development, can be just released for free, downloaded anywhere, shared on any device, anywhere in the world nowadays, and can
Hmm.
be incredibly meaningful in that like it can provide a voice for someone that doesn't have one. It can, it literally be means to communicate. It could be everything for somebody. So I am a little bit in the know as to like what Microsoft is, but tell me about your capacity team. How are you involved with them, and what if like just if you can give me a little recap of what you guys talked about.
All right, let me see if TJ's screen is gonna work. Damn this thing! But all right, we're
There you
gonna
go.
we're good.
Yeah, so
I'm just gonna
it,
manually erase them all off of here, and
let's see.
then
I gave the long version of how I got connected with them, but it was just I got connected to the Microsoft team through a mutual connection, and I just been in the field, not in, like in the field as a tech person. My background is occupational therapy, but just being out there at the events, expos, and conventions, and just kind of talking behind the scenes of what's going on and the know-how, and eventually I just got connected with them. Like, hey, you might want to work with these people because first of all, they did the whole like Xbox adaptive controller, and that's a big
Which I
deal.
think is
There's O
amazing. That was a huge deal, and the fact that they made it accessible for every other console and kinds of gaming device, I thought was absolutely profound. That's how it all should be.
Mhm.
Eh,
Yeah, so I was just kind of like, yeah, if there's anything coming up, kind of giving them my input and then kind of sh like just following the project, and seeing how what the homebrew community was doing too, which was even greater. Like, oh, they just took it apart and like just kind of doing it, using it in their own way as well too, which is always the good part because that's what tech you can kind of customize it to your own needs. Like what you said,
yeah,
software is like it's software and hardware and there's so many different combination of it to fit our needs. I mean,
yeah,
I was gonna say with the button, because it's very light, you can kind of place it anywhere. I showed the boys, but you could take. So if you have different needs, different printing needs, kind of put it on. They had this as an official one, because the other one was concave, the in inwards, which I
yeah,
couldn't utilize all the buttons. There's about 9 buttons just on this, but I was like, I rather have like 4 solid buttons, and like I like this option of the bigger with the raised keys.
yeah.
yeah, I feel like
And
having
then
too many little options would be hard for a quad
There
to
is
push
very
this.
unique customizability with like, particularly like that unit. And the really amazing thing about it is too, we're just talking about a controller device. It's called like Xbox gaming, adaptive controller or whatever.
oh, hey bud.
But a control unit can be utilized to control almost anything, mechanical. And that is really powerful tool. And the fact that you can really, change the buttons. I mean, that's what I love about it is I think it's amazing when something would work for like all quadriplegics and stuff, but when you can create a piece of technology that can be utilized across almost any range of disability, or at least physical disability, when it comes to like utilizing adaptive button controls like that, that's pretty amazing. And I love that a company like Microsoft will, is taking the effort and taking the time to work with the community. I've seen a lot with Apple too in terms of like their development with accessibility features in their smart watch and things like that, and tracking someone in a wheelchair and their physical activity. And I love how they shared all that with every other fitness tracker company as well, because they did. And big shout out to Apple. And I did follow a little bit. I don't know if you're familiar with Natalie Fung, but
Hmm.
she is, yeah. She I know did she went out and visited someone at Microsoft and talked about their adaptive technology as well. So I did follow a little bit in terms of like what she was doing. But my hope, and I know some of what Microsoft is developing is like AI, artificial intelligence, and robotics to assist individuals. And I know it's probably, a decade or more out in terms of like meaningful application, but I do know that there was and is like some work ongoing with that. Have you had any
That's probably a
Like
different
familiarity with that
team.
side? Okay.
But on the I mean the AI and just voice assistant side, Cortana is really great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's better integrated and better used than a like Siri, sometimes Apple Assistant, just because it has more functionality. I mean, back in the day, it was like what, Dragon dictation? I don't even
Yeah.
like no one uses that anymore just because
No.
the voice stuff is so much better on just on these platforms,
Yeah,
or
I
at
mean
least
it's
operating
really not
systems.
meaningful anymore because you used to have to like dictate so much just to get used to voice and stuff like that. Like it's so outdated. Like you don't have to do any of that to Siri or Cortana. You give it a few phrases and it can create a profile based on on that, which is really a lot easier and more meaningful for someone with a disability too.
Mhm. And it's also great because that you're really into it too. Because I mean, I'm not searching up all the stuff that's a bit, that you have access to fully. It's kind of like it's adapted to me. So like it depends on like we all have different levels. So voice access to. Oh,
Hmm.
nice. Thanks, Gabby, for the.
coming to the
So
website.
that's pretty cool.
Giving the good info. So
Yeah.
Tom, if you want to ask some stuff right now,
Yeah, Gabby's
Gabby,
from Microsoft.
Okay, what's
she's
up,
a.
Gabby? Huge fan of you guys' work. That is pretty awesome. I just recently got a PC, so I've been an Apple guy majority of my life, but now I've made the transition over to Windows, and I mean I've utilized Windows interface my whole life too. Like boot camp and stuff on my Macs, but I haven't really ever dove in, so that is exciting. I don't really use the voice control on my computer at all, but I do use the Siri dictation on my MacBook Pro a lot to dictate emails and dictate like long form stuff just because I can double tap the function key and it can do really well to accurately dictate what I need. But I utilize my smart devices like crazy. Like I talk to my phone all the time for everything. And it's very cool to be able to like not even have to engage, say something like hey Cortana or like hey Google, hey Siri, hey whatever, and it all kind of jives. So huge fans of innovations like that, but also I mean I was thinking about individual speech impairment, customizing an interface like that, so maybe it could utilize what they can vocalize versus the standard vocalization. And I know these are so many nuances and like stuff that just needs time to be developed. But it's very
Yeah.
encouraging and exciting to know that Microsoft has a team dedicated.
Yeah, Tom, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's cool.
say if you've never attended the CSUN AT conference, they have a like marketplace area to check out, and then when CES has registrations, I was gonna make sure to hit up you guys.
My dad and
There's
I actually spoke at that conference back in
oh,
like 2008.
which one?
We It was a CSUN conference. It was a accessible technology. It was the International Disability Conference. It was a long time ago. I was still in high school, but my dad and I had modified some camera equipment in similar ways that you guys are describing. We I got a grant to get some motorized robotic stuff to um, just give like a pan tilt and like some mobility to my camera use. But we also developed a head cam, which could hold like a small camcorder, and modified the controls for the pan tilt with little joysticks and stuff that one of my dad's buddies like did on a um, uh, some machined it for me that we could like
Hmm.
put on that made it like a little joystick instead of like a button that you would have to push. So we went to that conference and spoke on that long time ago. So we've been doing adaptive technology for a long time, but I am somewhat familiar, and I was super impressed. Even it was like again more than a decade ago now, but they were doing very amazing development technology, even really cool software back then. Are you involved with that conference?
I've I've been going to CES for over 10 years now,
Okay.
and then for the CSUN AT one, I've been going for about like 5 years. I took their AT certification course. I didn't do Resna. I did the CSUN one, and just been attending. Even yeah, within that 8 years, there's so much that happens. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say for CES, there's a big accessibility. They have their own track now, I mean the money makers like right now it's like for elder population accessibility. So AARP is like really bigly involved, but there's a whole section at
Yeah, so if
CES.
anybody isn't familiar, CES is like this consumer electronics expo that happens every year where companies like show off and
Major.
advertise technology that they're developing. And again, incredibly encouraging to know. I mean, I'd love, dream to attend something like that. I thought about it, but I've, just never have. But I would love to go take the
Yeah,
virtual cam
it,
and like check, something like that out.
dude,
Yeah,
I'll let you know when the signups because I always see a Paul Lane. Like we're like the only ones that in the space. We're like, okay, we need to bring more people into this because
Yeah,
outside, every year for CES is always the big TVs and this and that, the 10K, it's going to probably go up to. But there's a lot of the smaller companies that's really cool things that's merging.
yeah.
So
My big problem with accessible technology is still the cost barrier that is separating the consumer, being the disabled population, and the companies that manufacture it. Now, I mean, I understand better than most in terms of like development, costs and stuff. Like this stuff is not cheap or easy. It's years of work, years of
mhm.
development, and some of the engineering and the material is just expensive, even at cost outside of manufacturing. But I feel like there should be a solution to bridge that, whether it's just like government subsidies or, like and again, like I hesitate to talk about interfering with, the capitalism and free marketplace and stuff because I think it incentivizes development in these fields, but there isn't enough incentivization there because there's not enough money to incentivize it for stuff like this. It is amazing and meaningful that programs are like companies like Microsoft and Apple are like take accessibility into their UI development, and it's like now more integral into the beginning stages of development. But and again, I'm not trying to like call out Microsoft here, Apple, or any company and saying that they should do better or do more, but it would be meaningful if corporations could that could afford to do that would do that. And again, I don't know how you would get it to disable people cheaply without other people trying to take advantage and get it cheaply as well, but that is, I still think a big bridge to a lot of independence and a lot of accessibility for a lot of disabled individuals currently living all around the world. Not
No,
to
I
mention,
completely
like
agree with you
people
on that.
outside
Yeah.
first world countries as well.
Keeping it low cost is the barrier. That is, I
Yeah,
completely agree with you on that. Even when I'm working with my kids, this is that's like the most high tech thing isn't gonna work because if you can't buy it, like it's only
yeah,
useful in one part of your
Yeah.
day. It doesn't carry over. But it I would keep keep your eyes and ears posted for the adaptive accessories. I mean, if we can make it more popular. I mean, even looking from what they had with the adaptive controller, and
Yeah.
then with this
Environmental
coming out now,
control.
it's like it's getting better. So it's like the
yeah,
Yeah.
more we're backing it, and the more we do have these conversations, and Gabby is like kind of involved, like the more we're all in it together. Right? So they're actively in the space with
yeah,
people, so they're not just trying to, just use and leave kind of a thing. This is an ongoing thing. So
absolutely,
that's awesome.
having the
absolutely,
conversation, I think that was like the biggest part when I entered, it's like the beginning, I was trying to be like, why? But I was like, oh wait, okay, let's reframe how I'm gonna give them the feedback and to kind of make this go forward and easy, like better, like we all know things cost a lot, when we're disabled,
yeah,
and even like a little piece, just like even a button, it's I've seen those like those little old school buttons for like playing a game, like a game, and they're like it's a piece of plastic that costs how much, and then you're
Yeah,
still
Yeah.
using a headphone jack. Yeah. So
yeah.
that's what people the markup and stuff on whatever is deemed medical or for somebody with disability. That's
How
the
about
problem. There's
how
too
about an insurance approved
yeah, the
3D
insurance stuff.
printer
But
that all disabled individuals can get, and it comes with a library full of accessible tools that they could then print out as they need and utilize in their everyday life. Boom, let's go.
hey, that would be the ideal case scenario. I mean, I'm in healthcare too, and we already I know. It's not the best, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
we
it
gotta
it
stick.
is. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to
I don't
finish.
know. Yeah, I mean, at the bottom line, it does need to make a profit to kind of go forward.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it needs our backing. I mean, that's one of the things I wanted to connect you guys on because I'm excited about it. I was like, if I'm excited, I'm not paid for them to do this. It's like I'm just trying to hear to share, and that was like, the biggest thing. Even when I
Yeah.
started my blog before, I just want to share things that not people aren't really talking about because they might not know it's out. And it's like let's get that buzz going within us. And then yeah,
Yeah.
Tom, if you're in the LA area, I'll show you the product and you can play with it
Uh,
hands on
yeah,
and
man.
then
Well, we're hooked at now, TJ. Like, once you got me, you can't get rid of me. Not that easy. I'm gonna be hitting you up. I want to check out your blog. I want to read about like what you write about, and I want to read
cool.
about all of it, and maybe even contribute some of it too. I'm trying to write more. I'm trying to write more every day about all this stuff, and I don't know, like if you're looking for other people to post stuff like that too, but it's
Ooh,
a big part of my life, and trying to talk about it more and trying to have more of a voice in this space
yeah.
in regards to all of this stuff. So it's so dope, man. Very, very awesome, and I'm really excited to check it out and talk more about this stuff in the future too. And it's so awesome. I'm really excited and happy that Microsoft is such a big company is doing this, because it inspires other companies to do similar stuff as well. I mean, a lot of the innovations that we benefit from in the medical space and just in the rehabilitative space, are because of corporations like NASA and, other engineering and research companies and development companies that do exactly this. Big, big corporations that, like, hey, we can use this, apply it in a different way and have a really meaningful effect on a lot of different people's lives. And a good buddy of ours, if you haven't checked him out, check out Abilities.
Yeah, we
His name
talked
is
about
Mark.
Mark
Okay,
quite a bit.
yeah, Mark
Yeah, we
Yeah,
Mark
know that.
Fuglen. Um,
I just met up with them too. I showed him. He's like, "Ooh, you got me
okay,
thinking."
heck
I was
yeah.
like, I got you."
No,
I
Mark is always thinking. That guy has made so many cool, unique, adaptive, accessible 3D printed stuff. Like, it's so inspiring to see, for me, and really exciting for the whole space, because he's not the only one doing it too. Well, the thing though I'm trying to work on with him, that I'm trying to navigate and figure out right now is VR. A couple of my buddies have Oculuses and are playing VR poker and games all the time on it, and I can use it with the help of a buddy. But as soon as you give me two controls, like, I lose all function, because the way that I like play video games now on a regular controller is I can set it down and use both hands to
Mhm.
utilize it. But as soon as I have a control on each hand independently, I don't have the finger, dexterity or ability to navigate any of the buttons. But I'm thinking with some cool 3D printed add-ons, we can make something more functional, because I really do think VR is an extremely therapeutic and rehabilitative form of therapy.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. I'll connect with you more on that. I know some of the
Yeah.
people at USC, and they have a whole
oh, let's
VR
talk, man.
department with that's all connected with entertainment, technology, marketing, business, movie. Like it's a whole collective. So we got your stuff. Yeah, you won't get like I said, I won't get rid of you. Don't
So
worry.
yeah,
I'll connect you with
Cool,
other
cool,
things going
TJ.
on.
we
There's only
gotta
so
get
much
all
I
the
could do.
links and info from TJ. We'll get them linked down in the description. I know we gotta wrap up because both TJ and Bobby have to get out of here.
Mhm.
But we will make sure if you guys want to get any information, we'll have it down in the description below. And yeah, so TJ, anything you can send me links for, especially even like the conventions and stuff like that. Down,
Mhm.
we'll link all that stuff
And
and share it
TJ,
when we can.
I'll
So
follow you on the gram, bro, and I'll send you my number too, so we can link
yeah,
up and for sure, like, be in communication. I'll send you my email and stuff too. And yeah, man, I'd love to talk. Love to talk more about this stuff. And I appreciate you guys let me jam on towards the end. Um, I didn't mean to be late today, but this is like a topic I really wanted to come on and at least touch on, because it's a huge, huge passion in my life. So I
I'm
appreciate you
glad you're wearing
guys
a
letting
hat.
me.
You got the memo though. You got the memo.
They,
That's true.
you
We
know,
are
it's
wearing hats.
so funny, dude. I didn't have it on. I put it on like a minute before I called, so I'm glad I
That's
was feeling the
awesome.
right vibes. And me and Shawn, we got the same shirts
I
on.
know we're
Let's go.
matching
These
today.
beautiful. We're matching today. Got our awesome Live to Roll shirts going. So please, if you haven't gone to liveToroll.org, check out our cool merch. We got some cool shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
Make
we
sure
could
to
use to
like.
sell some of that because we're trying to raise money for this travel for the Abilities Expos we're doing. So we leave 3 weeks from tomorrow for Houston, and
Yes, sir.
yeah, we could use help with that. So, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow TJ to check out all the stuff he's doing on Instagram and everything, and follow the Microsoft thing, get the email for the different updates and stuff that's coming out, and yeah, make sure we'll be back next week for another live Live to Roll next
Gabby,
Tuesday. And
thank you from Microsoft too. Thank you for
yeah, and
taking the
Gabby,
time
thank you for
to
being in the chat.
join
Thank you
our
everybody else for being
podcast
in the
and
chat. And
help
actually, shoot,
inform everybody.
sorry, real quick, let me just thank our sponsors one last time, Mobility Professionals, Urology Professionals, because they are honestly the only reason why we have any money to travel to the Abilities Expos right now. So thank you so much to them. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate chat, TJ, Gabby. Thank you guys for all your information. And we'll see you guys next week. Live to roll, everybody.
Cool.